From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, February 5th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.51 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,220 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 1.6 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $1,026. Antiwar.com reports the Pentagon has deployed the USS Cole, a Navy destroyer, to the Yemeni coast near Bab al-Mandab Strait to loiter in the area and protect the waterways amid an ongoing Saudi invasion of Yemen. Officials are presenting the move as support for the Saudis after Shiite Houthis attacked a Saudi ship off the base. U.S. officials said it was conceivable that the Houthis thought they were attacking a U.S. warship, though since the Houthis have been at war with Saudi Arabia since the Saudi invasion 2 years ago, it's not at all clear why that might have been. Officials have also implied that this is something to do with Iran, though such Iran-Yemen links always rest exclusively on them being Shiites, albeit a different sort of Shiite. That they presented the targeted Saudi frigate as aimed at the U.S. suggests the USS Cole is being sent in no small part with an eye toward it drawing such an attack from the Houthis as well, potentially giving the U.S. a pretext for a deeper involvement in the Saudi invasion than the substantial involvement the U.S. already has. The USS Cole has experience as a target for attack off the Yemeni coast, having been hit by an al-Qaeda attack in the harbor of the port city of Aden in 2000, an attack which killed 17 sailors. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Bitcoin Not Bombs. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports the State Department and Department of Homeland Security suspended enforcement of Trump's travel ban for foreigners on Saturday after a federal judge halted the executive order on immigration affecting 7 Muslim-majority countries. But even as 2 government agencies moved swiftly to comply with the ruling, the DOJ, at Trump's order, filed a request for an emergency stay in federal appeals court to re-implement the executive order barring travel from the 7 predominantly Muslim countries. Department of Homeland Security Acting Press Secretary Gillian Christensen said, in accordance with the judge's ruling, DHS has suspended any and all actions implementing the affected sections of the executive order entitled Protecting the Nation from Foreign Terrorist Entry into the United States. This includes actions to suspend passenger system rules that flag travelers for operational action subject to the executive order. The State Department said some 60,000 visas were revoked since the order was signed on January 27th. The order denied citizens of the countries entering into the United States for 90 days, refugees for 120 days, and indefinitely stopped Syrian refugees. Judge Robart had scheduled a hearing to determine whether a more permanent temporary injunction should be issued while the trial phase of the challenge plays out. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the Trump administration has for now backed off a draft executive order that would have called for a review of whether the United States should reopen overseas black site prisons where interrogation techniques often condemned as torture were used. The New York Times, citing unidentified officials on Saturday, said the White House has circulated a revised version that did not have language that contemplated reopening the prisons. It said the revised draft, however, contains part of the earlier draft which included expanding the use of the military's Guantanamo Bay Cuba Detention Center. A senior administration official confirmed the initial draft was no longer under consideration, saying it was a transition draft, never under serious consideration by the administration. We have abandoned that transition draft. The now defunct CIA program used so-called enhanced interrogation practices, including simulated drowning, known as waterboarding, that were criticized around the world and denounced by former President Barack Obama and other senior U.S. officials as torture. Officials familiar with internal administration discussions said it was unclear when any alternative might be approved and said there was conflicting views within the administration on how to proceed. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.